Use code NateDog for 15% off your next purchase of Datterall. Link in the description.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and the soon-to-be-published Lauren Frey.
Hello everyone, this is Nate Dogg with Nate Dogg, here to promote Datterall. Use code NateDog for 15% off your next purchase of it. Want to get yourself a nice little energy boost in the morning? Well, there you go. Without a crash or a jitter. I usually drink it before work. So, self-promotion.
Where are the PC gamers at?
I'm right here.
You guys are always on message boards, on 4chan, on YouTube comment sections, telling everyone that, you're pirating everything, you can emulate everything imaginable, that PC gaming is the ideal gaming platform.
Well, that's quite the assumption to say that we're always on every single social media platform you can think of, All right, so let's go over this again. So, pirating. You think that people pirate just because of just getting free games here? It's more on a spectrum. Mostly people pirate just because of really shitty practices, like what Square Enix is doing with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. A, $70, B, Epic Game Store exclusive, C, really shitty port. And yeah, we can also emulate in all this kind of stuff, and saying that PC is really the best way to play games and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it is, though. Though everyone has their preferences here, and, if people want to play on console, that's perfectly fine. I have no problems against that. I only have problems when people are being annoying or just saying things that are just factually incorrect.
But somehow, some way, you can't even play Final Fantasy VII R correctly.
Can't play Final Fantasy VII R correctly? What?
A PS4 release. Where are the emulators for PS4?
Well, they'll probably be here at some point. Shit like that doesn't come overnight.
Where is Bloodborne PS4?
They're right in front of us. We can play them,
Where are these games?
We can technically play that on PC with PlayStation Now.
The official release of Final Fantasy VII R, according to unreliable YouTuber Digital Foundry.
YouTuber Digital Foundry? Digital Foundry is not made by one guy, right?
Who I generally don't take seriously when it comes to these kind of statements, but I've investigated thoroughly and understand that this is true.
Can you point me to a source, please? No? Okay.
Final Fantasy VII R does not run very well on PC, and right now people are blaming Square Enix and their porting team and how they kind of rushed it out and how they didn't optimize properly. And I'm just sitting here thinking that can't you just mod the game so it runs correctly?
Well, that didn't age too well. There are already mods being made for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and yeah, you can mod them.
Can't you just upgrade your hardware? Can't you just emulate it? And the answer, of course, is no.
There isn't some kind of a huge wall or something like that preventing you from modding these games. You can absolutely mod it.
The answer to all those questions is no.
Well, the real answer to all those questions is yes, you can mod them.
Because emulation is not nearly as widespread or prevalent as the PC pirates want you to believe.
Well, it actually is. If it's enough where news articles and stuff like that from multiple sources are talking about these emulations and stuff, then yeah, it's widespread. And I hope you know that even console games run with emulation here, like PS4. Maybe Switch. I could be wrong on the Switch part. Correct me in the comments.
Right. They would like you to believe they're playing WarioWare, that they're playing Metroid Dread, that they're playing Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2? Breath of the Wild 2 is not released. Unless you're saying 2 as in TOO. And yeah, we can play Breath of the Wild on PC with emulation. Like, here's some footage of me playing it right now on my PC with an emulator.
Right now, with like no issues, when that never, ever is the case.
Well, there's always going to be some issues here and there, but even like for small issues and stuff, you know, the positives far outweigh the negatives.
That's not how it works.
Oh, sorry for questioning your superior knowledge.
It takes a lot of time to build these systems, recreate the gameplay, and recreate the hardware, and kind of get it emulating properly. Like there was a thread on 4chan the other day about like how PS2 emulation still isn't up to par because, well, that's because mostly I think that no one wants to play PlayStation 2 games anymore. Like they're completely irrelevant.
Well, I still want to play PlayStation 2 games, so therefore it's not completely irrelevant. And also, no, like, ports don't exactly work like that. They don't rebuild the game from the ground up. Like, you're making it sound like that they have to, like, completely rebuild the game in order for it to go onto a different system. That's not how it works.
But that just goes to show you, doesn't it?
Literally does not.
That just how little that's, well...
Today, Junior.
First of all, how little Square Enix cares about its PC audience, because...
Well, you actually might have said something a little intelligent today, where Square Enix doesn't actually give a shit about, like, the PC audience. But I'm not willing to give you credit for that just yet. Just wait.
They know the reason they put Final Fantasy 7R on the Epic Games Store was due to, like, the Fortnite money. Like,
no, Square Enix just wanted some extra cash. That's it. Not just because of the Fortnite money. It's just because they wanted to squeeze in every single penny.
Like, Tim Sweeney, as we all know, pays these games to be exclusive to his platform for a certain amount of time. So you can't even get this game on Steam, the superior PC gaming platform, right now.
Right now is not the equivalent of, like, not ever. Also, yes, Steam is absolutely superior to the Epic Games Store. Steam is not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect. But it's 10 times better than the Epic Games Store. Because at least Steam has a fucking search bar and a shopping cart. And yeah, that's another thing too. The shopping cart was added in like 3 or 4 years after the release of the Epic Games Store. 3 or 4 years for a shopping cart. Let that sink in.
You have to wait for that.
I will happily wait. I have all these other games to play in the meantime. New, old, you name it.
And like it's just gonna be the same thing, just on a different launcher. Like it's gonna have the same problems. They're not gonna patch anything. They're gonna rely on fans to fix it.
Relying on fans to fix it is not a good thing. No matter what, if it's indie or AAA, it's not a good thing, period.
As opposed to simply buying the game on a PS4 right now. And that's kind of my thoughts on this.
Well, what if someone doesn't have a PS4? You know, buying a PS4 just for one game is just not a good use of your money. Like, if you're going to buy this console, you should use the console very frequently.
Like, the PS4 has no games.
No, the PS4 does have games, and interest in those games is purely subjective, you know?
And honestly, like, I have no interest in, like, playing Final Fantasy 7R at all.
If you have no interest in playing it, then why are you making this video? Or at least why are you talking about it?
But let's be real. Like, if you really, really, really wanted to play Final Fantasy 7R, if you really, really, really wanted to see Cloud Strife wander around Midgar for, like, 40 hours, just get a PS4.
You make it sound so easy.
Like, you don't need the PC gaming.
You don't need a PC gaming? Okay.
You don't need to emulate it. Like, just buy a used PS4 from your friend and just kind of just go through this one game that you just happen to have an interest in.
Yes, let me just go to my friend who might just be using the PS4 right now as their only source of games, and let me just buy it from him. You know, like I said before, you're making it sound like it's easy.
That's it. That's all you need to do. And
You make it sound so easy.
I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone really addressing this.
PlayStation fanboys are probably addressing it somewhere. And the reason why a lot of people aren't addressing it is because that's not the issue at hand here. Like, if Square Enix is going to sell a broken product for money, no matter what system it's on, that's not a good thing. You think Cyberpunk got away with selling that broken shit on the consoles? Do you think anyone will get away with selling something that's broken, no matter where it's released?
Like, I don't see anyone addressing, like, the reality.
The reality. You and I live in a separate reality.
That it's cheaper and easier to just play certain games on the consoles.
Cheaper, yes. Let me spend a couple of $100 and including like another, like, what, 30, 40 bucks for the game? Just to play one game. That's cheap to you.
Like, this is especially prevalent with Nintendo Switch.
Of course he mentions the Switch. This is no surprise.
Which has, like, hundreds of great exclusives at this point. But
Hundreds of great exclusives. Yeah. They're still charging you full price years after the game has been out.
PS4, like, even Final Fantasy 7R is such a big release, hypothetically. You know, Final Fantasy is such a big deal. Like, yeah, I could see people, like, playing, like, buying a console for this.
What the hell? Is someone taking a shower near you? Is someone running water? What the hell is going on out there?
So, yeah, just buy a PS4 if you really want to play Final Fantasy VII.
In my opinion, don't buy a console just for one game. I mean, like, yeah, you do you, and I'm not here to tell you what you should and should not spend your money on. It's just not a smart investment.
Don't ever bother with the PC release.
Well, I'll bother with it if it ever actually gets fixed. Oh boy, that was a really tough one to get through here. Like, Harmon Smith, not exactly the most intelligent person around here. So, yeah. So, what have we learned today? Well, just buy a PlayStation 4 from your buddy, because that's just easy. You know, just do that. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. See you guys.